Well, it's a very warm welcome back to second half independent off-tube studio commentary from the game in Philadelphia, the last 16 clash between Paraguay and France. It is goalless at the start of the second half. Our referee, Mr. Tanshayev, is just waiting for a permission from a TV director, and that's the way it goes these days, before we can restart this second half. But it's been an interesting first half. The first 15-20 minutes, you just felt as though France were going to overrun Paraguay. But actually, after the drinks break, after the hydration break, it just felt as though Gustavo Alfaro's side just seemed to have a little bit more about them, and whether or not it was just France running out of ideas or Paraguay just being that little bit more forward thinking and trying to push a little bit further up the field, maybe just frustrate France in midfield rather than right in front of their penalty area. But whatever it did, it worked, because France just seemed to run out of steam towards the end of the first half, so they needed a little bit of a boost at the start of the second. It's actually Paraguay pushing forward here with the ball over towards Enciso just in front of the penalty area. It's been cleared back into midfield. It's myself, Paul Szczerbakowicz, and John Hogan taking you through the action. John, we need to see more from France.
Yeah, and they can't get dispirited. They've got to work out how they're going to get round them. You know, he'd not made any changes, so clearly he thinks his players are good enough. When they went out there, they were all guns a-blazing, weren't they? Almiron just caught there. I've noticed as well with Paraguay, they come out second half, they want to nick a goal. So they've come out a bit more positive. That could be their undoing, I think that really they've just got to think low block and just let's keep on keeping on doing it, because they've done a good job. But the thing is, you get tired, you make a mistake. We've seen that in this World Cup, particularly when it's really hot stadiums. It's the back end of the season. However long or hard you've worked, if you try to run around in 30 degrees of heat, you know about it. And eventually you start making mistakes.
Well, you do, but it's, as I say, we've had 90 seconds on the clock in this second half, but maybe only 40 seconds of play, because it's taken that long for Almiron to pick himself up. Referee wasn't too bothered. He did actually give a free kick to Paraguay, but didn't need the physio in the end. The long ball played towards the edge of the area. It's been headed away, and then it's headed clear by Elise over towards Dembele on the right hand side. Elise then gets brought down. That will be a free kick to France. Elise is claiming he was hit in the face as well, but he's picking himself up now as the Bayern man. The referee just running across there, trying to calm a couple of the Paraguay players. Now, just to remind you, as John mentioned, no changes at half-time, so it is Heel in goal for a Paraguay back five of Caceres, Velasquez, Gustavo Gomez, Alderete and Alonso. It is Diego Gomez, Cubas, Galazra and Almiron as the midfield four, with Julio and Enciso as the frontman. I'll do the France 11 in just a moment, because they are on the attack now down the left here with Digne in towards Barcola. Kone now down the right-hand side for Koundé. It's got to Dembele up for support. It's played back in towards Kone. Square now towards Upamecano. Mbappe back to Saliba. Rabiot finding Digne now on the left-hand side. Back to Adrien Rabiot. He thought about a cross into the box, but he just prefers to hold up. Only really Barcola inside the penalty area. Mbappe still in this slightly deeper role this time. Here is France's number 10 over towards Kone. Support here from Dembele down the right, back towards Kone. Kone's ball into the box, gets a deflection. Oh, and then Koundé. I actually thought he was close enough to the ball to try and go for a goal himself, but he leaves it for Elise. Elise didn't read that, and it's been cleared back towards the halfway line.
Yeah, close there. I think unwittingly, because the ball in took a deflection. So, they got a little bit lucky with that. I keep thinking, well, here we go again, good little dribble that from Elise, but eventually, he runs out of racing room, and that's it.
Yeah, well, that's it. It's cleared, but it's been won back here by Kone. That's good work here from Manu. Kone goes towards Koundé. It's played back to Rabiot, and that's potentially what France need to do. They need to press even higher, maybe force an error from Paraguay as they're trying to clear their lines to really try and overload the edge of the penalty area. Here is Rabiot from the edge of the box, pulls the trigger, lifts it. He's swearing to the referee that should be a corner, but our referee, Mr. Tanshayev, is not convinced. Just to remind you very quickly, is Miangan in goal for France. Back four of Koundé, Upamecano, Saliba and Digne. Rabiot and Kone are the two holder midfielders, with Dembele, Elise and Barcola playing behind Mbappe and Deschamps. Wasn't impressed with that shot there, John.
Yeah, he should stop moaning, shouldn't he? They need to pot shot from the edge of the area. It'll keep the opposition honest. You can't. If you've got gaps, then you need to close them down. They need to work them harder. And Paraguay will be thinking, we can't leave him free. Here's an opportunity for Almiron driving into the box.
He is, yeah. Almiron trying to get into the penalty area there. He's won his side a corner. Yes, he has. So that's a little bit of progress there for Paraguay. Just a quick ball played down the middle, in fact. Not the best bit of control. Koundé should have headed it clear. He takes it down on the chest and pretty much served it up to Almiron.
Yeah, I think the big mistake there up at Meccano it was, and very sloppy with his touch there. I do like Almiron. I think he's got a great attitude about him, a real willing runner, and he's won his side a corner kick. And if this goes in, then I think it could end up being a long night.
Certainly could. It could certainly put the cat amongst the pigeons. The referee's just trying to get a little bit of order inside that 6-yard box. It's Galazra being just told off here by Mr. Tanshayev. Is Galazra getting involved there with Jules Koundé. It is going to be an in-swinging ball here from Almiron, left-footed from the right-hand side. Taking a real long time to take this corner kick. They're doing what they can here, Paraguay, just to eke out a couple of seconds. Cross comes in, Miangan comes out and punches it. Gets a lot of height on it. It's still at the edge of the area. Played it back across here now towards Velasquez. He takes a heavy touch. Upamecano puts the challenge in. France want the throw on. I don't think they're going to get it. It's going to be a Paraguay throw here on the left-hand side.
Keeper came then. I wasn't over-impressed with that. He didn't get much on it, did he? He scraped it, and if it falls on a Paraguay head straight after that, they're heading into the back of an empty net, and he got lucky.
Yeah, long throw here from Junior Alonso. Miangan, that's much better there. It's almost like he heard your comments, John, and he was a bit more confident coming up for that one. Then he boots it long, and suddenly this is a great ball from Miangan, straight to Mbappe. Mbappe wants to take a touch. Oh, and he's been robbed of the ball at the last. Paraguay is swearing there should have been a free kick at the edge of the area for a handball. The referee, I think, has agreed with that. No, it's been a corner kick, taken quick and taken short into the side netting, and it's only going to be a goal kick after all of that. And Dembele has crashed into Orlando Gil. I wonder if this is just a tactic from Paraguay to try and eke out every injury, but moment of chaos there in the end, John.
Loads of chaos. First thing first, was it a corner kick? Well, we look at Mbappe when he goes through, a heavy touch and then a handball. It should have been handball, so he controlled it with his hand. So, it was a corner kick, which they then took quickly. But quite rightly, Caceres is saying, look, take a look at that. Can't you see that he handled in the area? So I would have been aggrieved from Paraguay's point of view if that would have come to anything. But then they're forced into action, aren't they? And I think... it's Dembele falling on Orlando Gil that hurts him, not necessarily bumping into his own player. A lot going on there and sort of not much happening all at the same time.
Yeah, absolutely. And referee now just allowing the physios to come on. I mean, I'd say I'm not going to be cynical enough to think that there's no problem with the goalkeeper here, but something tells me that if Paraguay were 1-0 down now, he wouldn't be down for as long as he is. I think this is all a little bit of a tactic just to try and slow things down a little bit.
I think he definitely fell on him, though. I think the big guy is hurt a little bit, and if he's your keeper, then you want to give him time to recover. So I don't think we're at that point. But credit
to Miangan, he came out and caught that throw, and then it's a really good kick out as well.
It is. First touch here from Mbappe kills him stone dead. He's really... he's usually better. He's usually got a better first touch. But watch this. So
he misjudges it. He actually wanted to control the ball with his foot, and then it bounced an extra time that I don't think he was expecting.
Yeah, we were talking in the first half about how the ball moves more quickly. It gets a certain velocity, then moves more quickly. So I think it's a misjudgment. Then the ball hits terra firma, and then it stopped travelling quite as quickly, which caught him by surprise. And I think the goalkeepers have said that. They thought they'd got it covered. Normally I would have had that. And that kind of thing. And then you see goalkeepers getting fingertips to it, but not quite keeping it out. That kind of thing's happened because they've misjudged the pace of the ball.
No, they certainly have. And from that point of view, I think the goalkeeper was very pleased that the effort from Mbappe was taken off his toe by Caceres. But actually, as John rightly pointed out, Mbappe clearly controlled the ball with his biceps. So if he had scored from that, VAR probably would have got involved there.
Oh, it would have ruled it out, undoubtedly. So then it seems a shame that they get a corner kick from that. And if Orlando Gil would have probably been injured in that off the back of what should have been the free kick the other way, then you feel a bit aggrieved from Paraguay's point of view. But nothing too bad has come of that, and now France back on the ball, back to where we were.
Yeah, back to where we were. 54 minutes on the clock, and it's France in possession down the left-hand side. Barcola leaves it here for Kone. Kone pulls the trigger, and that does force a good save out of Gil. There have been a couple of efforts from France which have gone over the bar. That one was certainly going on target, and it was a good save.
Listen, this guy's 6'6". He fills the goal frame really well. Who is it? Algeria did the other day. We got Zidane, who probably didn't even scrape 6 foot, and he doesn't look like it. But when you're taking on a big man, it takes a bit of beating him, and I think that's dipping in, and that's a great save, I think.
Superb. It really is a good save. France getting more and more frustrated by the man coming in to block the short corner. And in the end, Elise takes a corner kick, which is low and flat and disappointing and easily dealt with at the near post. Headed clear up towards the halfway line. Koundé keeps it in play. Elise then lets it go, and he doesn't keep it in play. He should have done a little bit better there, Michael Elise, to control that ball initially when Koundé played it to him. Interesting enough, Deschamps' sort of hand gestures are more of sort of calm down, take it easy. But if anything, I'd be saying, come on, lads, we need to ramp it up a little bit, no?
Yeah, I'm not sure what they need to do, and I'm not sure their manager does either. And he looks dead moany, doesn't he? You don't get any confidence looking across at him. Gallic shrug, throwing his hands in the air when Rabiot's had his shot and all that. They obviously need to do better, but they've got good players. They just need a moment, don't they?
They do, and they're trying to make that moment in now. Elise was pushed off the ball, but he finds Mbappe. Mbappe then into Barcola. Barcola does win his side a corner. I think if of all the four attacking players, John mentioned Barcola earlier, I think I would agree that if anyone's going to go off, he probably would be the first.
Yeah, exactly. You've got Cherki on the bench, who is a terrific player. I think he's...
Or Doué as well?
Yeah, absolutely. Either of those would do it.
Very good, absolutely. He just thought of that as well. He's not got it written down anywhere. I can see his notes there. He just came up with that. But it's a corner kick here now to France, in swinging from the left-hand side. And more catching practice for Orlando Hill. The quality of set pieces from France this evening has been disappointing.
Yeah, it has. He's a big guy though, and like I said, he takes a bit of getting round. You see players and you're thinking, well, why is he not in the Premier League? I don't know how old he is. I'll take a look at that, but he has really caught the eye, and certainly from the with the penalties.
26. He's 26, and he plays his club football in Argentina. So there may be some European clubs interested in him now. Yeah,
I would be interested. I think he could play Premier League, no problem. Yeah, he was superb in the penalty shootout as well. That's not your first go-to, but just generally looks a decent keeper.
Certainly does, and I'm sure I'd say not just him, but there'll be plenty of interest in a lot of players that perhaps aren't that well known in Europe after this or during this tournament. And we'll wait to see, of course, what transfers develop in the meantime. But here come Paraguay now, trying to get something started down the left-hand side. The ball from Almiron is not kept in play in the end here by NC. So he chased it, did his best, but the ball just had a little bit too much pace and bounce on it. So Koundé now ready to restart play here for France. 57 minutes on the clock. We got our first change, but it's not for France. It's for Paraguay. They're going to make a change with the number 13 coming on. Just trying to see whether or not this is for Alderete. It's going to be a like-for-like swap. In fact, no, Alderete is down, but it looks like they're going to replace him with a midfielder, John.
Well, I've got 13 Jose Canale as a defender, so I think you're probably right. It's like for like. He's a centre-back by trade, so I guess it is just that for Alderete.
Yeah, well, as I say, whilst we're seeing that change being made, we're seeing more. It's a fantastic save from Hill, because the replay from behind the goal showed that ball was dipping. It might have been dipping onto the crossbar, but from where Hill was, he couldn't see that, so he needed to make a save, and he got down to it very well.
I don't think Zidane saves that. But anyway, I'd be quite critical of him. But anyway, Alderete goes off. Jose Canale does come on. He 29 years of age, plenty of experience, and for the most part has, I think, played in Paraguay. But
currently playing in Argentina for Lanús, but is in the side this year. Well, the interesting thing for me as well is that just how. When you see how they've made that change there with 13 minutes into the second half. Obviously, it's forced by an injury. Alderete is not moving freely enough, so it needed a replacement. But he's a tall player, is Canales. That's going to be an extra problem for France when they have set pieces. But Diego Gomez does really well to win the ball back for Paraguay. Was he pushed off the ball? The referee's close by and says no. France have it back. And they're on the attack here now, down the left-hand side. Ball heading towards Barcola. He beats his man. He's into the 6-yard box. Barcola! And just as he was about to pull the trigger, there's just a little bit of a touch there from Caceres, who, rather than turning to the fans and cheering, actually cheers straight in the face of the man he just blocked.
Barcola did his best bit of work there, and then he just couldn't drag that ball with him. You know what? Caceres, he's so full-blooded. It's quite good to watch that. Proper defenders defending. No airs or graces. But anyway, Barcola came alive there just for a second, didn't he? Just drop of the shoulder, going on the outside. It just didn't quite work out.
Well, France back in possession now. We're only about 8 or 9 minutes away from the drinks break. It is still goalless. Are France going to find a way through here? It doesn't look particularly likely at the moment, although certainly the overload of possession would suggest that France at some point are going to get their chance. Barcola now, he's looking to try. Oh, that's an awful shot. That's surely got to be a sign that he needs to be changed, because he's still looking like the weakest of the forward players. And actually, we can see that Deschamps is getting that substitute board ready, so France are going to make a change before the drinks break as well. And in the meantime, Enciso needs to go off.
Yeah, he has made the international symbol of I need to get off. He's worked ever so hard, hasn't he? But
Gustavo Caballero, the Portsmouth man, is going to come on here for Paraguay. He's making his fourth appearance with the one goal for Paraguay.
Well, significant. They're taking their lone attacker off for midfielder. Enciso's not really a striker, though, is he? He'd be a second striker, that kind of thing, attacking midfielder. Or
that might mean they put Diego Gomez a little bit further forward. We'll have to wait and see exactly how that affects what's.
Caballero is sort of a winger, really, isn't he? But anyway, we're going to see a change too for France, and no surprises, eh?
No surprises at all. It is going to be Bradley Barcola to go off, and it is going to be Desiree Doué to come on. So one PSG man off, another PSG man on, and this can only be a worry now for Paraguay, because Doué is, on his day, he's even more unstoppable than Barcola, I would say.
I would think in my pecking order, I'd still probably out of last season would have had Cherki. I still think he's great, but I think he's still bedding in Man City. When he does, he'll be a better player. But I would have Doué ahead of Barkley, most certainly.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you think of Doué had some real virtuoso performances for PSG on that right or left wing, and the ball played forward here now. Dembele trying to find Koundé. The ball's cleared and it's out for a throw to France him on the right hand side.
There's many ways to I'm going to say skin a cat there, so a terrible expression. But they've got JP Mateta on the bench, and I'm just thinking again something different. The way he attacks the ball, a big man, maybe they could hang the game.
Well, here comes Digne now. Is he going to be able to keep the ball in play? As there was an overlap down the left-hand side. The pass to him, he just about gets there. Then he gets his body in the way as well. But it is going to be a throw to Paraguay on the right-hand side. They're holding firm for now at Paraguay.
Yeah, somebody like Mateta offers something very different, doesn't he? And just allows them to just chip ball into the box. At the minute, they're reluctant to do that. Mbappe's not playing like a proper number 9. Everybody's floating around everywhere. But if you have a fulcrum of your attacking, you just think, well, if all else fails, just chip the ball in, he'll fight for it. Sometimes the ball will drop kindly for those players playing off him.
Well, that's what he's got to think about this, Deschamps. He's got around 5 minutes before he has his players in front of him for the drinks break. So we'll wait to see whether or not he's going to make any other changes, whether it's any formation changes, whether we are going to see more attacking options. Of course, Mateta is one option. Marcus Thuram is on the bench as well. Of course, he sort of offers somewhere in between the pace of Mbappe and the size of Mateta. Sort of Thuram is in between the two, I would say. But certainly another option. But here come France again now, and it is Doué. First time that he gets on the ball, left-hand edge of the penalty area, gets away. He was brought down. No, he wasn't. Referee says play on. Doué stays down. But we play on now. Doué's probably going to have to get up here because France needs to play on here down the right-hand side now with Elise. Two Paraguay players in front of him. Gets away, plays the ball to the edge of the area. The pass from Dembele is blocked. France just can't find a way through at the moment, but Paraguay aren't able to keep possession either. It's just a chip ball which is straight to Upamecano. Doué then finds Mbappe, who goes for a ridiculous strike from a long way out, and it's a long way over.
Again, if you have a chance for a strike, then take it. But it wasn't a good one. Doué did get caught there. Cubas undoubtedly caught him. Referee's looking right at it, hangs his leg out. I think the thing about Doué is he sort of wants to be caught, but the leg's hung out there. He shouldn't have to hurdle it. That's a different sport. He overdid it, but it still was a free kick.
It was, and France now back in possession, but it's just more of the same. You just wonder whether or not there's going to be a point where Paraguay just feel even more confident. But of course, there's always that risk that if France do get a goal from somewhere, there's really no other way for Paraguay to sort of rise up and try and get a goal themselves. But they're obviously not worrying about that for the time being because, as I say, there's been a couple of saves there for Heel, and barring that, it's been his outfield players that have had all the work. But here come France again now, down the left-hand side. It's with Doué. Options left and right. Doué just thinking about getting across it. No, he just rolls it back to Digne. Digne's on his weaker right foot, though, so he's not going to cross it. He just plays it back into midfield. And it's now with Kone to Koundé. Dembele's pass is blocked. Dembele plays another ball across the middle. Mbappe was well marshalled there. Good challenge there from Diego Gomez. Ball is a long way out here, but it's William Saliba. Finds Doué, goes into the box. Oh, what a run this is from Doué. And then he gets brought down. It's too late. He's not going to get a penalty for that because Paraguay are now on the counter here and it's played through the middle. If Almiron can chase his own ball, he's done well. But in the end, Saliba had just about enough of a head start that he can cut across Miguel Almiron, who's then pulled a hamstring as well. But France aren't going to be too bothered about this. I don't think they're going to just play on for the time being. In fact, the referee is going to stop play because there's players down all over the place.
Yeah, I mean, what you've got here with Almiron, I mean, honestly, just busting a gut. Doué's down because he thinks he'd won a penalty. He's hurdling challenges left, right, and centre. I think he got caught there. I think again he's doing that thing where he overdoes it, and he looks like he's diving, but he's diving because he got caught. He got caught by Gomez, and he did get caught, and that's inside the box, and it should be a penalty. I firmly believe that. But then he did that diving swan thing. So I think VAR, and then Gomez is saying, all the Paraguay players are saying, he dived. He did dive because he got caught, and he wanted to make it look obvious. But that's not to say that he definitely got caught.
He did definitely get caught, and the referee's got to watch a replay here, John. We've had the VAR check, it's a graphic on our screen, and now Mr. Tenshayev from Uzbekistan is going to check the replay himself. And already a committee of Paraguayan players and coaches are trying to tell the referee what they think about it. But my colleague has just summed it up very, very succinctly. And from that angle, John, it's hard to see how they won't give a penalty.
Listen, he goes knee to knee. When the knee comes in from Gomez, he knows he's made a mistake because he sticks a leg out, but he does not get the ball, and then he makes contact, and then he pulls the leg away, and then we see Doué try and make it look more dramatic, and in doing that he dived, and the referee didn't like that, and I didn't like that, and then he decided to ignore it. But you can't ignore what happened because it was contact without the ball.
And so our referee, with our off-tube pictures, we don't have a sound from the stadium, but we're able to confirm very quickly what Mr. Tenshayev has said. Penalty given. So just before the drinks break, France, John, have a glorious chance now to take the lead.
Yeah, like we said, the first goal could break it, and then we were talking about 4 or 5. And when you see the 3 quarters of the game that we've seen, you think, you lads don't know what you're talking about. But 1 goal could break it. The penalty's got to go in. It was obvious penalty once we took a look.
The facial expression of Gomez and the fact that he'd barely even had time to see what happened to Doué, but he was really putting his hand up saying, there's nothing there, if there's nothing there. He knew he was a guilty man there.
Yeah. And he's not moaning about it, is he, to be honest?
He's not. There's 6 or 7 Paraguay players still trying to get into the referee's face. Dembele is if you like, the cannon fodder to hear all the insults and all the off-putting comments. He'll just stand with the ball, and once the referee has cleared everyone away, Mbappe will step up to take it.
Well, that's it. I think you get somebody to look after the ball. You don't want your penalty taker in the bubble for that long while players are hounding him and stood around him. Gustavo Velasquez looks a right piece of work, doesn't he? He
did.
Messing about there.
Yeah, he properly. As I say, if that was on a cricket pitch, he'd be getting banned, I think, for the way he tried to scuff up the turf there. But now Mbappe has just got the huge frame of Orlando Gil in front of him. Mbappe's last 5 penalties for club and country have all been scored. 3 of them have gone low to the right-hand side as the penalty taker looks.
Right, if he's waiting for the keeper to move, the keeper doesn't move that much. And that's why the German boys were missing it, because he's like making, you've got to beat me. He's not jumping out of the way of it, I don't think. So it could be interesting.
Yeah, but it's Mbappe against Gil. And is Mbappe going to wait for the goalkeeper to move? Well, now the Paraguay players, they're trying to do everything they can to put off Mbappe. 3 of them actually ran into the box even before Mbappe had a chance to start his run-up. The referee's got to get a little bit of control here. FIFA and UEFA, in fact, all the confederations have been very keen on trying to reduce the gamesmanship. Keepers aren't allowed to get off their line. They're not allowed to do as much waving and dancing. Players have really got to be outside the box. But Mbappe is ready now. It's a stuttered run-up, and he does send the keeper the wrong way. He goes to that right-hand side again. It's low. Heel goes to his right, and Mbappe goes to his right, but France lead 1-0.
Yeah, so, cometh the hour, cometh the Mbappe, what a penalty. He does little stutter, and it's not so obvious, and it's like, and he stutters, but he's still running up at a pace. When you see people slow down, it's like lose confidence. Oh, he's not moved. But it was a really good penalty, that, and he really didn't give Orlando Hill any kind of chance. Really top strike, that. And again, we look at it, so a little stutter, then he runs in, sort of normal pace, a bit slower again. It's a beautiful penalty.
It is a beautiful penalty, but it does bank on the keeper going the wrong way. If he goes the right way, he can save that because it's not much power. But Mbappe's so confident in his stuttering run-up, in the way he's angled his body one way and the ball goes the other. It's a confident penalty from Mbappe. Bit of a, dare I say, a sort of typically French sort of a disdainful sort of look with a finger pointed at the goalkeeper saying, who does he think he is? He's not going to put me off. But Mbappe's delighted, and I have to say, large French contingent here in Philadelphia, they're delighted as well.
Right then, going to be a sea change for Paraguay because they need to get a goal now, and it needs to come from somewhere. Diego Gomez goes off. But they're bringing on more attack-minded players. They've got to do.
They do indeed. So Mauricio, who plays in Brazil for Palmeiras, he's going to be coming on here for Paraguay. He's one of two, if not one of three changes here. We're also seeing Gabriel Avalos from Independiente. A lot of Paraguayan players play their club football in Argentina, so he's on, and he looks like a bit more of a handful in terms of being a frontman. So we may see Paraguay. Well, in fact, we're going to have to see Paraguay go a bit more direct now, John.
Yeah, absolutely. They need to score a goal, don't they? So they'll need to set up different, and that's when they could get picked off by this great French team who've already got their fans bouncing because they've grabbed a goal. Avalos is a proper striker, 6'3", target man. Mauricio is a winger. So they've got two wingers now, Mauricio and Caballero, and they're going to set up completely different, but that could be the undoing of them. Yeah, well, it could be. We're at 71.5 minutes here. We've not had a second half drinks break. I can only assume that's because they don't tend to have drinks break straight from the kickoff of a goal being scored, but a ball now played towards the edge of the area. It needed a header there from Upamecano to make sure it got back towards Mike Miangan. It's now with Jules Koundé here on the right-hand side. But we have gone over the three-quarter mark of the game. It is Paraguay 0, France 1. And assuming we're still going to have a drinks break, it will be John to take us through to full-time. Yeah. I was wondering there, because like the next thing I'll be talking you through a drinks break, but 72 minutes, and you think, well, when are you gonna? Have you forgotten? Anyways, there's been a lot going on. Rabiot brought down there, and that will stop play momentarily. Why don't you take a drinks break, referee? Maybe there'll be somebody in his ear because the floor manager will be going spare. Eventually they all shift across. Yes, all those carbonated drinks in America that have paid for the advertising, they're thinking, when is our advert going to be on? But it's going to be on now. There's a little bit of argy-bargy now because there was an injury, there was a foul on one of the French players just as the drinks break was being called. And as I say, this is silly from Paraguay as far as I'm concerned. They're 1-0 up in the game. If they're trying to wind France up, well, fine, but it's not going to help you because you need to score a goal from somewhere. So, and you can see Deschamps coming out there just trying to act like a peacemaker there, just guiding those Paraguay players away from his own. Yeah, I tell you what, Velasquez wants to get a red card in this game, doesn't he? Yeah, he's desperate to have a fight with somebody, isn't he? So a little bit of bad blood, but for France, they need to unattach themselves from that. It's pointless. You win in the game. You can have all your bragging rights afterwards. Just go on and win it. Paraguay again. Caceres having a shout, moaning to our referee Tantashev, and then his teammates are shoving him away. We're seeing what happened here. There's much ado about nothing with Caceres and Mbappe. Just a little bit of contact, nothing more. Mbappe was making the most of it. He was smiling going out. Velasquez doesn't like him smiling. And Yeah, just silliness, really.
It's just typical footballer posturing. It's you pushed me, how dare you? I need to push you back for that, and then it just sort of stems from that, really, doesn't it? But now, if I was Gustavo Alfaro, I would be telling his players, look, forget all of that. We've got, less time than normal from a drinks break to get back into this game. And as I say, forget all the wind-ups, because France potentially going to try to wind you up even more. You've actually got to try and play a game now.
Exactly right. So they need to be as clean as a whistle until there's no chance of them going through. At which case, I say I'll kick the legs off them. If you've got 2 minutes, then do that. If that's what you want to do. But for the minute, they've got to play good, clean, attacking football if they can. All easier said than done against a team who, with the pace that they've got, look like they're set up to, pick off a team. They look like they can counter-attack France. There's smiles on faces, and Mbappe here, a big smile. I think he likes all the rough and tumble, and
he does. I actually think he enjoys it when players try to wind him up, because you say he tends to use it as rocket fuel. There are occasions where he gets too far involved in the whole shenanigans thing, but when it's just a player winding him up, particularly if he's just scored what could be a winning goal, he loves that.
Absolutely. Yeah. Anyway, a lot of work to do, and I think Gustavo Alfaro's done a great job so far. I think he set them up right. I know it's negative and all that, but they were getting a tune, and but for one misplaced challenge, I always thought it was going to happen as players get tired. But Diego Gomez there, just hanging a leg out, and you've always got one of these speedsters who can cut so quickly that you're just going over it. Wasn't much in it, and the referee didn't spot it. Back in the day, it would have gone begging. Would have said, "Ooh, maybe that was a penalty." Anyway, as we've said, Almiron, he's gone off Gomez as well. Gabriel Avalos and Maurizio. Avalos through the middle, all 6'3" of him. So they've got a proper target man now. I want to try and use him. I wonder what shape they're actually in. Try to work it out. Really, they look almost like the three up top, don't they? But Avalos going for that one. Maurizio now finds himself through the middle. Maybe they've gone 4-3-3. I'm not sure. I can't imagine that they're still 5 at the back. Silly challenge there from Mbappe. Then he gets caught. There's a definite kick out there, and that deserves a card.
It does, but now, of course, don't give Mbappe... See, the Paraguay players have got this all wrong. If you're going to try and foul Mbappe when you're 1-0 down, what do you think Mbappe's going to do? He's going to jump up straight away to let you restart, or is he going to say that he was... I mean, it is silly from Caceres. That's a straight red card as far as I'm concerned, John.
Yeah, he got a shove in the back, but...
That's a kick out with his studs on the deck. Players get sent off.
I tell you what, it's shades of Beckham, isn't it?
It is. Beckham got sent off for something similar. And if anything, Beckham tapped Simeone on the back of the leg. This is a stud straight into the shins. Caceres is playing a very dangerous game there.
Yeah, he flicked him with his boot rather than anything nasty. And it certainly didn't hurt Mbappe. He went down screaming. But anyway, now here is Velasquez going forward. Decent looking ball into the box. But in the end, the intended target can't get there for all the will in the world. But that ball wasn't kept in. And eventually, France know that. That's why they're playing. They're messing about now, aren't they? The French. And they need to as well detach a little bit from that, because there's a job to do, and as nice as they might find it winding up Paraguay at the minute, it could backfire, particularly if they're getting somebody suspended.
Yeah, we're laughing at it because we're seeing a replay of the build-up to the penalty where Gustavo Velasquez doing his best to prove his skills as a groundsman there, wasn't he?
He right between the legs of who was it? Dembele was holding the ball, stood on the penalty spot, but he still didn't have it all covered, and Velasquez just kicking, scuffing the ground up with his studs from behind. Quite laughable, really funny. Anyway, Paraguay on the ball, doing all that they can. They're tilting at windmills already, being at this stage of the tournament. The fact that they got through, beat Germany, absolutely to be applauded. But I never felt that they were going to make the same, pull off the same magic trick twice. But they're 78 minutes in, right? And however you like it, they're just a goal behind. That's a minor miracle in itself.
I agree. I think that's absolutely right. I think that it is a miraculous thing that they're only a goal down. But the question is, what do they have in their locker to actually try and get a goal back?
Well, at some point, you've got to stand on your own 2 feet and see if you can't score a goal. I know they nicked one against Germany, but here they've got to show us that little bit of quality. Have you got enough quality to go grab yourself a goal while the other team are defending? Well, they've got to throw in now. Junior Alonso is going to take a long one, I think. Anyway, up goes Big Caceres. Big unit, isn't he? He looks more like a mixed martial arts type of dude, doesn't he, than a footballer? Anyway,
does, yeah.
Long throw goes in. Upamecano goes down. Referee doesn't want to stop it, but Upamecano, who clobbered him? I don't know. Anyway, there's so much going on here. It makes it really hard for the referee.
It does, yeah, because for most of this game, you've had Paraguay players trying to eke out every second out of a foul or a little bit of contact. Now, of course, France are 1-0 up, so the French players are trying to do exactly the same thing.
Exactly that, but there was nothing there. Caballero, there was a little, push of his elbow towards Upamecano, and then he went down as if he'd been shot. In fact, it might have been Avalos, the big striker, trying to, just put himself about a little bit and show that he's not being bullied. But anyway, they're giving a free kick. Yeah, like we said, they've got to be clean as a whistle, don't they, Paraguay, right now, and they can't help but get themselves involved.
They can't. It's it's that kind of that hot-headed nature that they have, where they're a goal down, they can't believe they're a goal down. They want to try and get any kind of advantage they can in this game. But as I say, if you're going to start fouling and sort of getting in the face of French players, they're going to use that to their advantage to waste time. So Paraguay have got to try and sort of swallow that pride and just try to do what they can to get some final third possession. And so that's a really poor lunge there from Kone, and an easy yellow card there.
Yeah, absolutely. So they're doing their level best now to stop the opposition in their tracks, and that was a wee bit naughty. I tell you what, credit to Caceres, he's popping up all over the shop, isn't he? And he's trying his guts out. I'm reading a book at the moment. Graham Greene's the honorary consul, and it's set a lot around Paraguay, and there's a lot of talk about the machismo, which is sort of this bravado, and and we're sort of seen as almost a national trait. That's showing up, sometimes in a good way, heroics, sometimes a bit forlorn, with plenty of ego involved. But anyway, you hear a ball to the edge of the box, nodded in, but picked up by Mignon, who then goes down, drops on the ball, trying to buy a little bit of time, and he bowls the ball out to Digne. France may go on and win this World Cup, and we know they're a great team. But they have been slightly stymied today, haven't they? And they haven't looked their best.
They haven't, no. And I think that against a side ranked higher than Paraguay in the next round, if they come up against a similar kind of... they're going up against Morocco, which is obviously going to be a sort of a very much a personal kind of game as well. There's a huge history between France and Morocco. There's a large Moroccan population in France. There's plenty of French expats in Morocco. So that in itself is going to... they're all going to be able to insult each other in the same language on the pitch as well. So that makes it a different kind of thing. And Morocco won't be as afraid to come at France as Paraguay were either.
I'm not sure. Canada got the better of Morocco in the first half, which was surprising in their game. Morocco as well picked up an injury to Saibari, who is a really important player for them. Canada just couldn't unpick the lock and then ran out of steam, and the scoreline was flattering in the end. But they made it look difficult, and they made it look as if maybe they would have no chance against France. And certainly if they played like they did against Canada. Anyway, we'll see. Here is Elise now. Hurdles the challenge, drives forward, but taken off the ball again. How many times has he been dispossessed today?
He's not had a good game, Michael Elise, no, and I think he's only marginally better than Barcola, who's already been substituted, but that's a poor free kick. That's the kind of thing that they have to watch. I mean, he's come off the bench, has Gustavo Caballero, but I think he's even more hot-headed than most of his teammates. He's giving away an unnecessary free kick there. Meanwhile, France do make a change, and it's the aforementioned Ryan Cherki coming on for a little cameo appearance at the end of the game, replacing Ousmane Dembele.
Yeah, again, he played all right. What can we say? underwhelming, really, for France mostly. But Turkey, we expect something good from him.
Absolutely. I mean, considering what he's done for City in certain games this season, if you're Paraguay and you see him coming on for a 6-minute plus injury time spell, you'd be worried.
You would. I mean, Doué's done well off the bench, hasn't he? I thought he should have come on a bit sooner. I think when you've got such good players, you just sit back and watch them, and to some degree, I think Deschamps has done that. Anyway, Rabiot's still on, and here Doué on the ball. He drops his shoulder, beats Caceres, who try to get forward a little bit more. Ball now with the new man at Turkey, who he wants to get 2 or 3 touches like they'd all done, and that kind of means that Paraguay get back and set. That in itself not a bad thing for France, because it just means that all their players have been dragged back into their defensive position. They can't lose that DNA about them. It's all belt and braces, but how are they going to score? Somebody's going to have to run 3/4 the length of the pitch to do that.
Yeah, they are, and you just think that there's, and they've obviously lost a couple of their more attacking players, with substitutions and injuries as well. So it is really going to sort of count against them now. Question mark, of course, about how much injury time we're going to have as well.
Yeah, exactly. There could be a lot of time added on. So I don't.
Somewhere in the 6 to 8 bracket, I'm thinking.
Yeah, maybe even more. There've been just bits and pieces, haven't they? And anyway, the ball into midfield. Adrien Rabiot still there. So too Luca Digne. There'd be an argument made that you'd want to freshen up those positions with players who were just getting on that little bit, who were playing in the heat. I'm not sure that Didier Deschamps is any great manager, any great shakes like that. But anyway.
I think it'd be quite hard to look like a bad manager with this squad, really, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah, you'd fancy that you could win most games playing all sorts of different formations and all that if you wanted, because they're just a class act. Anyway, here we see a long throw from Paraguay. They're still in this game. They're only a goal down. Ball breaks the edge of the area, and his shot comes in. It's not a great shot from Junior Alonso. Plays his football in Brazil for Mineiro, but he just couldn't get that right. They've had a few pot shots, but
he rushed that a little bit. I don't think he was forced to take that one as early as he did, and just swearing under his nose there as he goes back to his left back position. So we can see Gustavo Alfaro. He's had a number of players off the bench now. I think he's just trying to we just saw him there just shouting towards his players, because he knows there's not much time to go now. Yeah,
but it's a 1-goal game, that's all. It would just take one slip, one mistake from France. Looks like Cornet brought down the middle of the park, holding his head. He and Gerlatze having a come-in together. Matthias Gerlatze plays in the United States with Atlanta United, along with Almiron. But they're just a judge to have caught his man late. I didn't think there was much in that, really. But again, Cornet went down like a sack of spuds, who now miraculously he's absolutely fine. Digne there, a header, but he headed it straight at Maurizio, and he just couldn't get out of the way, and the ball went off him and out for a throw. But Digne got a little bit lucky there. Players can make mistakes when they're hot and bothered, and I think France at the moment, you're comfortable at 1-0 until you're not. I saw that in the tournament early. I think Qatar got a last-minute equaliser. Somebody did. In a game where I think it was the Swiss had them beat, and
they did. I think it's a very good point. A 1-0 lead is always precarious. I mean, from what we've seen in open play, you wouldn't really forecast a goal for Paraguay right now. But then, are Paraguay capable of scoring a goal from nothing against France? Well, no, they are. It's unlikely, but it's not impossible. Just as I say that, though, France win possession. They're on the attack.
Yeah, they are. And here they go with Mbappe. It's a fierce shot and a good save by Orlando Hill. You'd expect him to make it, I suppose, but he caught hold of it. Again, Mbappe, he's played okay today. Keeps looking for the ball, doesn't he? He'd gone a little bit too deep, because I think he'd got bored. As captain, I guess you can do that, and if you're him particularly, you can do what you like, really. Nobody's going to tell him off. He's the captain and chief goal getter, and he's scored his goal. So all the usual suspects keep on scoring, don't they, in the tournament? Messi's goal the other night was absolutely superb. I don't know if you saw it.
Well, I did. I mean, it's just, it's not even. You can't even say he's rolling back the years. He's just always been like that, hasn't he? It's just, it is absolutely ridiculous how he's turned up at this tournament, and I think it's great as well that so many marquee players have scored a number of goals. We just saw the top scorers there on our screen. Mbappe with 7, Messi with 7, Haaland with 5, Kane's got a few goals as well. It's good that those well-known strikers are getting so many goals.
Yeah, I think so. It's not an individual sport, is it? But we like to see the good players.
If you watch Cristiano Ronaldo, you'd be forgiven. But there's a chance here now at the edge of the area, a strike coming in, and there was a little bit of a dive there from Mianga to make sure he got onto it.
Maurizio, it was on the half turn there. Didn't really catch hold of it, but He's still, he hits it into the ground. It takes a bit of the velocity off it, but the ball's bobbling around. That's the thing.
Mianga actually does well there because he sort of takes the ball in and then he gets his body around it as well. So he makes sure there was absolutely no chance for any ricochet. But now, of course, there's a chance here now at the edge of there, but I think the free kick's going to be given. No, it's not. The referee says play on.
Yeah, Maurizio then puts the ball across, and Dini are able to deal with that. It wasn't a good ball in the end, was it? And I think we all expected the referee to blow his whistle there. Quite why, I don't know. We've just seen the board go up that we weren't able to see 10 minutes. 10 minutes, plenty enough time. Maurizio, it's a better looking ball, and now Dini called into plenty of defensive action. Good defensive header from him. A bit sloppy, France, but anyway, they make a break down left hand side. Desiree Doué, he steps, he shoots, it's deflected, and then Junior Alonso hoisted up in the air. Cornet gets underneath it. There was a little shove on the Doué there. Who else but Velasquez, the referee? Did he give it? No, he's just allowing France to ball because they've got it. And off they go again. Elise, and again he's caught. This time it was the foul, but again he's kept turning into trouble today, and it makes me think that maybe he's better as a winger than drifting into the middle. I know he's got attributes, but. He's made a career really about being essentially an inside right, hasn't he? And I think he's just asking a lot running through the middle for him.
It is, yeah. He certainly couldn't quite get across there, but this is perfect for France now. It's a free kick. It just slows the game down, and it's time that Paraguay won't have on the ball. Yeah,
so Elise going to take the free kick. Orlando Gil setting up a wall, but I don't think there'll be a shot from there. And they don't. They take it quickly. The ball that rolled to Koundé, and then to Cherki, who, there's two around him, but he beats the first. He can't beat the second one. Alonso has looked quite strong. They've all looked fairly strong, haven't they? In one-to-one, they're proper defenders, these guys. We were talking about how nowadays, a lot of fullbacks are like converted wingers or whatever. These guys all look like proper defenders, don't they?
No, they do. They absolutely do, and they've really made it very, very tough for long spells. And now we can see he's absolutely furious here, Alfaro, because Paraguay have woken up now towards the end of this game, but maybe it's just a little bit too little, too late.
Yeah, it's right, but they couldn't have played an expansive game for 90 minutes without getting thumped, could they? Let's face it. So. They hung on in there when they eventually conceded. Then it was time to be more expansive when they could be. They've got forward that little bit more without exposing themselves too much. The ball from France kicked out to touch, like rugby union. Anyway, it is Paraguay 0, France at 1. We've had 3 minutes. They've added time. 10 minutes were put on the board, and. There's a sense that the French are coasting to some degree, but we keep pointing out it's a one-goal game. How night could quickly turn a lot longer. On the ball, Cornet, and he finds Cherki, tries to go the outside. Again, he runs into a brick wall. That brick wall is Junior Alonso. I think the ball may have gone for a corner kick there.
He has, yeah. Just again, more frustration this for Paraguay. It just slows things down. Now, yeah, Cherki, do you want to use that ball, mate? Do you want to use that one? Yeah, just a few little seconds here as well. And now the linesman's even getting a bit frustrated because, France is doing what they can just to eke out the extra second here and there.
Yeah, Cherki took the ball off its thing and then he threw it away, and that was the ball they've ended up using. So you could get booked for that, couldn't you? Anyway, they've got a corner kick. Elise, no hurry to take it. Anybody timing these sorts of things? Anyway, our referee needs him to get a wriggle on here. At least he's got his hands in the air, saying the Paraguay players are encroaching. I don't think so.
No, he's just doing that to waste time.
Anyway, and the ball taken off him, so it came to nothing there. Maurizio, a good challenge from him. Play goes down, but the ball is going to break here. An opportunity for Avalos. In fact, the ball has gone the other way. Galazza then, and Koundé has gone down. He's holding his face.
Frustration here for Paraguay because, as I say, they wanted to take the throw on quickly, but Koundé needs treatment as far as he's concerned.
Well, he's holding his face here, but do you really think he got caught in the face? Let's take a look. Right then. No, he didn't.
He was looking for contact as soon as he saw the player running towards him as well.
Yeah, Galazza there, he's like throwing an imaginary punch at him, like shadow boxing. He didn't hit him, and Koundé's like goes down holding his face. Well, my face might have been hurt if he'd have contacted me, but he didn't. Laughable, really. The Paraguay subs are coming too far, aren't they? And they look like they're all itching to get involved in a fist fight. I don't know what they're signalling there. They want another players to go forward because Paraguay have got a free kick here. It's an opportunity. The ball in the box, eventually booted clear by Digne. 2 or 3 times now he's been the last man, and he's done that. Ball needs to go here for Paraguay. Still got a loaded box. Ball chipped in. A little flick on there, maybe a chance from Maurizio, and again it's Digne. Oh. And Mignon then juggles with the ball, and Maurizio so close to just toe poking that one in.
That was so close to Paraguay getting an equaliser there, and it starts off with credit to Digne because he gets there so quickly. Because I think if he wasn't there, that could have been a problem.
3 or 4 times now, Digne has just been bailing his teammates out. Come on, Francis, say no, leave it all to me. But they're not as happy defending as they are attacking, are they? As well, an opportunity now. Doué on his bike. He's got a player in behind him. He cuts the ball back. An opportunity for a strike. Great shot, great save. The rebound comes in. Another great save. Mbappe thought he'd scored. I thought he'd scored. But it's hard to beat Orlando Hill. And he's kept his team in it. He then looks long with the ball. Game really waking up now. And yet again, that ball being given away by Elise, and then a little bit of pushing and shoving with Galazza. He goes down then holding his face.
Galazza's stupid though. I'm sorry. He's got Elise booked. So what? He's got Elise booked 6.5 minutes into injury time in a game where Paraguay need every second. It doesn't help Paraguay in any way at all. It just seems like there's still a few too many Paraguay players who are trying to get sort of one up on some sort of personal rivalry when they don't need to. I mean, as I say, it's complete shenanigans, and this is where, if football's trying to get new fans, this is where we're going to struggle, because you just see that kind of thing. You don't see that in any other sport with players play acting in that manner, and it was stupid from Galazza. And in the end, the long free kick is cleared away from back to the halfway line.
Yeah, Elise gets a yellow card, but it's embarrassing from him. Wasting time. Anyway, Velasquez puts the ball into the box. That's a terrible attempt at a clearance. He'd been sliced away from Saliba, and that's a corner. I talked about, it being hot, players getting bothered, making mistakes. That was a big mistake, and now they're under pressure. It's a corner kick. Everybody comes up. I mean, I'm thinking I'd send the keeper up for that.
I would as well. I mean, what they got to lose? They've got 2.5 minutes of injury time to play. How many more opportunities are they going to get like this from a set piece? Now we're getting more fun and games. It's that man again. Galazza's down on the ground.
I don't believe there's anything happened here. The French players are looking at him, and laughing at him, to be honest.
Yeah, rightfully so.
Anyway, he gets up now. He wants to fight with the referee. Come on. Anyway, I bet this goes in, right? So we got a corner kick in swinging. Mignon comes out and he claims it. Not today, boys. He's saying good clean take from the keeper, and then he threatens to ball the ball out. Looked a decent ball in that. And that's what the French want, their keeper coming out making a claim.
Yeah, they do, and as I say, it's taken a while for Paraguay to get any kind of attacking possession. That was a decent save though, Fiang, and not the cross just a little bit too close to him. Here comes Mbappe now. He was brought down as he was trying to move down the right-hand side. Caceres has been due a yellow card all game, in my opinion, and he probably is going to get one now, but this is all playing into France's hands.
Yeah, and Mbappe smiles. He and Caceres have had a good set to today. They've had a good battle. And I think by and large he's done a pretty good job. Just runs across his back legs. He knows what he's doing, brings him down. And he likes to shrug of the shoulder. Well, you're too quick, mate. What do you expect? But, he's played strong. Unlike Velasquez, I think he's tried to play within the spirit of the game. As Galatza getting involved again, and I thought maybe he played the ball off Mbappe and gives him a shove. Dear. Anyway.
Yeah, this end to the game has disappointed me a bit from Paraguay. I don't really see the logic of them. It's almost like they're treating this like a league game. We'll see you back at our ground, mate. Well, you're not going to. This is a one-off World Cup game, and it just seems like they've taken it too personally that France have dared to take the lead against them.
Yeah, they're all taking it in turns to foul Mbappe now. All three of them have just fouled him. Then Maurizio wins the ball. Galatza is a terrible ball back to him, and then Doué wins it back. Lots of challenges coming in. Good strong one from Caceres. Maurizio is robbed. There's all sorts of carnage breaking out.
I'm predicting now there's going to be carnage at full time as well.
Well, we haven't got long left. Literally seconds then. The ball needs to travel right now. There's been a lot of messing about, so I guess there's another minute and a half. We've had 10 minutes. We're at 100 minutes. They're still pushing and shoving. Mbappe encroaching at the free kick, and Orlando Heel just needs to get rid of the ball. But in fact, they've called it. And that's it. There wasn't a minute. So in the end, it may have been quite tight. But it's Paraguay 0, France 1. France go through.